Hi, it's Mike, WB4HUC, and today I wanted to make a short video. I'll try to keep it around 10 minutes of some of my favorite features of the Omni VII. This radio is about 15 years old. I think Tentec brought it out around 2007. I've had mine since 2013, so 9.5 years. I believe I bought it in the summer of 2013. I like it and I use it every day. So in any case, here are just a few of my favorite features. The first is the band stacking registers. So you can see this letter here, B, that shows you which band stacking register you're on, and there are 4 for each band. So to get to them, you just press the band button. There's C, D, and then A. And you can see they're on different frequencies, different modes. So this one's in the CW portion of the band, lower CW, bandwidth is 400 hertz, etc. Well, let's say you wanted to equalize the VFOs. So now A and B are the same. And let's say you wanted to narrow the bandwidth to 200 hertz. So you can see that the 500 hertz roofing filter is selected. Bandwidth is 200 hertz, no passband tuning. So now if we press the band button and come back around, you'll see that all those changes we made are still there. And that's true of any of the band stacking registers. So you could set one up for digital modes, for instance, on whatever band you choose. One for CW part of the band, one for the phone part of the band, or perhaps set one register up for the low end of the band, the other for the high end of the band, however you want to use these things. So they're like instantly recallable memories without having to fool around with the memory system in the Omni VII. So that's my first favorite feature. My next is the tune button. So on a lot of radios, if you want to produce a carrier, you have to put the radio into a carrier mode, AM, FM, CW. Then you have to push the code key for CW, for instance, or the microphone button to get the carrier on phone. And if you're trying to do something like adjust an external tuner, maybe you need to limit the output power to no more than 20, 30 watts, whatever. So now you have to adjust the output power. So a lot of work is involved in just producing a carrier to make some simple adjustment. Well, the Omni VII makes that easy. So if I go, so here register B is in the phone band. Again, we can equalize the registers. I'm going to switch to the dummy load. We don't want to do this on the air. You can see the output power is set to 100 watts. For fun, we'll increase the bandwidth. So now I want to produce a carrier, let's say, for adjusting an external tuner. And I don't want to run any more than 20 watts. Well, all I have to do is press the tune button. So sideband is a carrier suppressed mode. But yet, you can see here, power is 20, power 20. I turn it off, it goes back to where it was, and then we're back to the S meter. So you can produce a carrier even in a carrier suppressed mode by just pushing the one button. Power is automatically set for you. So it's a one-button deal, to a one-button operation to produce a carrier to make some sort of external adjustment. An amplifier, a tuner, whatever it might be. And not only that, let's say you want to adjust the drive level on your amplifier, and maybe it takes a little more than 20 watts to get full output or more output from your amplifier. Press the tune button. You can see power is 20. So use the multi-knob and adjust the power to whatever you want it to be. And you can adjust your amplifier, your tuner, whatever you might be trying to do. When you turn that off, Let me turn up some volume here. When you press the tune button, you'll hear the carrier tone, so you know you're transmitting. But if you notice, when I pressed the tune button the second time, we went back to the 20 watts. So even though we had adjusted the power, right, we turn that off, turn it back on, then we're back to 20 watts. Sometimes that's an inconvenience if you wanted it to stay at the higher power. But even so, you can adjust it. So that's my second feature that I wanted to talk about, is that you can produce a carrier, even in a carrier suppressed mode. Push the one button, automatically get your 20 watts, tune your tuner, whatever you need to do. The third is the filtering. I made a video about this, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but if you go in the menu and set your IF filter, which is your roofing filter selection, to automatic, then as you adjust the bandwidth, you'll automatically see the IF filter change. So you just saw the 2.5 kilohertz IF filter was in use, but as soon as I went past 2.5 kilohertz, we jumped to the next higher filter. And you can go any filter width in just about any mode. I don't know how useful that is, but you're not limited to filter widths by mode. So you can see here, we're in sideband mode, and I'm winding the filter all the way, the DSP filter, all the way up, all the way down, and getting an automatic selection of the IF filter. And it works regardless of mode. So if we go to CW, then I can turn this, and it's the same thing. Now obviously there's not much use in having this wide a bandwidth in CW mode, but that's just the way the radio is made. So your filter bandwidths are not restricted by what mode you're in. And you can get to them by just turning the knob. And to me, that is so much more convenient than, let's say, some of the ICOM rigs, my 7300 included, has F1, F2, F3, each for CW and sideband, and each of these filters, F1, F2, F3, is individually adjustable to whatever you want it to be. But to adjust it, you have to go into the filter settings, make your changes, save those settings, get out of that settings mode, and go back to operating. That is incredibly inconvenient to me. I prefer this way, where all you do, whatever mode you're in, just turn the knob. So if we go back to upper sideband, and we can wind this back down to where we want it to be. It's very quick, along with automatic selection of your IF filter. That is so handy. And this is on a 15-year-old radio, and a lot of the new radios do not do this. So there you go. My last feature I want to talk about is the attenuator. So I'm going to go back to the antenna, and you can hear that noise. So a lot of Tentec users say that if you're on 160, 80, or 40 meters, maybe even 30 meters, you're on the lower bands.
DFI Dave, can you give 31 a call?
Not only do you not want a preamp, but maybe you want some attenuation. Now listen to this. We're at 6 dB attenuation, and on the stronger signals, we dropped the band noise a tiny bit and did not affect the signal. And we have 3 stages of attenuation: 6 dB, 12 dB, and 18 dB. And off.
Roger, this is Whiskey 1, Sierra Whiskey Lima, Bob. I have you here at a 5.9 in Connecticut, a 5.9.
So you can see on that signal, we dropped the noise a little bit, also dropped the signal, but not too much. So sometimes you can use this 3-stage attenuator.
Thank you very much. So, Victor Echo 2 Kilo Uniform Tango Whiskey 1 Sierra Whiskey Lima, clear with you.
So you can use a little bit of attenuation just to knock the edges off the band noise and perhaps make the signal a little more legible.
November 5 Golf Golf Golf.
At the very least, even if it's a strong signal that is strong but does not need attenuation, you can still knock down the band noise. So having this 3-stage attenuator is very useful. So there you go. And I've just hit my 10-minute limit a little bit ago. So
November 5 Golf Golf Golf.
So there you go. Those are my 4 sort of favorite features of the Omni VII. If you don't own an Omni VII and you were curious, maybe this helped you out. So even if you didn't find it particularly useful, maybe you found it entertaining. I don't know. But in either case, thank you for watching.